Comedy will always humble you. I moved across the country to do a show in a furniture store. Yes, you think you're a star and then you struggle for 10 years. My dad is an alcoholic, and I made very surface level jokes about it, and I never really dug deep. I'm gonna wear the silk pajamas to bed, and I'm gonna get every day is a special occasion. Nobody's ever too busy to make you a priority.
When they're really interested
when
in
they're
you.
really into you. You have to pick somebody who's going to choose you when you're ugly.
Do you believe that if you're not looking, you're gonna find something?
We're loud, we're passionate, we're funny in our own. I'm like, all the haters that are commenting, I'm like, you're helping the video go further. When I meet people who tell me they don't have social media, I'm like, you are my idol.
They say luxury is a lifestyle. I say it's a mindset. And this one comes with room service. Here at the Mayborn, where European charm meets California flair, I don't just check in, I reset. Because real power isn't loud. It's knowing when to ghost the noise and draft something far more lasting behind the scenes. The Mayborn, Beverly Hills.
Welcome to The Basic Show with Viktorija Pashuta.
Welcome to The Basic Show. We have here Tara Cannistraci.
Oh my
Do I
God,
pronounce-
yes!
I practiced.
Even with your accent, that was incredible. I have doctors born here that can't say that. Thank you.
I'm gonna practice Cannistraci. Okay, I love your last name. It was just very sexy. So.
Thank you. Oh, I hated it growing up, but now I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to talk about how we actually met.
Oh my God.
It's such a funny story. I went to a comedy show by Don't Tell Comedy,
Yes.
which happened in the furniture store.
Comedy will always humble you. I moved across the country to do a show in a furniture store. Yes.
And then I was thinking about you. I'm like, oh my God, this woman, she's like petite, she's sexy, she's super funny, and she's against all this man comedian. And I was thinking you should be on the show. And then all of a sudden, literally like 2 weeks ago, I'm walking down Beverly Hills, down the street, getting into the store, and I'm literally seeing you in the store. I'm like, is this Tara? And I even forgot your name. Like, I know you. I want you to be on the show. That's how we met, right? In the store.
So it was just so, it's one of those moments where I'll never forget. Like, first of all, I had been getting my hair done in the area, and I had not felt well all week, and I looked like I should not have been on Beverly Hills.
No, you were not.
I
You were
was
really
in-
cute.
It was not my finest moment. It was like sweatpants, no makeup on. And I was filming my special the following week, and I wanted to get a belt in that store. It's Legence. And, well, I think that's how you say it.
I don't even know what the name of the
Okay.
store was.
And I was like, you know what? The store's right here. Let me just run in. Nobody's going to know who I am. And I go in the store, and you come over to me so eloquently and so sweet, and you're like, I know who you are. And in my head, I was like, this poor woman has mistaken me for some
Jennifer.
washed up
Yeah.
celebrity.
No, Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, Angelina, right. And then you said, I saw your show, and I go, oh my God, she really did. Like, she really knows who I am. And then you go, I saw your show in the furniture store. And just the way it sounds, which is not to say Don't Tell comedies are so incredible, but it just, you didn't say Don't Tell. You said, I saw your show
Oh, you didn't even know from what?
in the furniture store. And in my head, it just like, comedy will humble you at every second that it can. Because it's like, it doesn't make a difference if you're doing the comedy store, if you're headlining all over the country. Like, you still perform. I still say yes to performing everywhere and anywhere. And you mentioned the furniture store in the middle of Beverly Hills while I was in my sweatpants. And I was like, this is where you are in comedy. Like, this is comedy.
Well, the furniture store was actually in Beverly Hills too.
It was.
So it was a fancier.
It was a fan. I couldn't afford any of the furniture in that store. So it was definitely a high end. I only perform in high end furniture stores.
furniture stores.
So if you want me, don't come at me, Ashley Furniture or Bob's. I am only doing name brand
We
furniture
need the finest
stores.
stuff. No, that was incredible and so funny how synchronicity works, because I swear, I kid you not, I was thinking about you. I even looked through Instagram like, you would be so perfect. I really want to talk to you because I would love to talk people with interesting stories, and you have a really unique story you are, I mean, let's start from the beginning. You
Mhm.
are a female comedian
Mhm.
and heavily like male dominated, industry. How
Mhm.
did you come about? How did you even decide like one day, okay, I'm going to be a comedian?
It was even, I mean, when I started, it was even more male dominated. You think now's a really great time for women in comedy. But when I first started, I was always drawn to it. I always wanted to do comedy. I think a lot of times as children, we have these ideas, these what we think are grandiose ideas of what we want to be, and then we get older and we think it's not real or it's not
Mm-hmm.
can't actually do it or make a living out of it. So I kind of suppressed it a little bit and did little shows here and there, and then went to school and got a regular job and like, but just felt like in me, I always felt like I wanted to do it. And then a show came on TV called The Last Comic Standing. And I was so excited because I had loved to watch stand up comics. And I would watch the show and I would start getting like anxious or anxiety around it. And I'm like, why aren't I enjoying the show? And I realized it was just because I never started it. So I put my big girl panties on. I wrote that first 5 minutes. And I got to be honest, once you get that first laugh, you're like, this
Hooked.
is it. This is for me. And then, you think you're a star and then you struggle for 10 years and get stopped in Beverly Hills to be reminded of the furniture store show you did. And you're like, I haven't made it yet. But no, I just loved it. And I said, this is what I want to do. And I put everything else on hold to really be laser focused to get a little, to climb up a little faster, up the ladder because it was hard. And luckily I had, a few veteran comics, all men, by the way. Actually, one woman, Miss Pat, who helped me, who saw me and believed in me and kind of helped me get the next opportunity. But and here I am in LA with you.
So you're originally from Bronx,
I'm from
right?
the Bronx. I'm born and raised in New York my whole life. I still have a home in New York.
So in between two
I come
places.
come back and forth. When I had first run into you, you asked me if I could do that Saturday. I was like, I'm on the red eye tonight. I
But
can't.
this is better.
Yeah,
Because our
this was
theme,
great.
our theme of the show is Secret Garden. So we
I
would
see
like to know all
this.
the secrets.
All the secrets.
All the
and
safe words.
And I was told I could wear pajamas. I was like, this show is for me. This
Yes.
show is for me.
Yes, because the previous episodes we were like wearing 90s suits and
Yeah.
all proper. I thought, you know what, let's get comfortable, but in the
No.
fancy pajamas.
And I'm here for the fancy pajamas.
You look very extremely
Thank you.
elegant and extremely
Thank you.
luxurious.
Thank you.
So you're from Bronx. Let's talk about the audience. Which audience, or I guess which city is the toughest for you to perform at?
It's so funny because I'm so specific. Like I'm so New York Italian. I feel like I was at an advantage being on the East Coast with all these shows. And then I started getting the bigger and the more I grew on social media,
Mhm.
I started getting requests, and my agent and managers were putting me in markets I normally would have never even thought to perform in. Tulsa, Oklahoma, Irvine, California, Atlanta, and North Carolina. And I cannot even believe I'm going to say this, some of my favorite audiences. It was so validating. I think Tulsa, Oklahoma was the biggest one where I was like, there's no other Italians here. There's nobody else even really from New York. And here I was on stage and it was just a great show. And the audience was so receptive, and they all, met with me after. And I had gotten the opportunity from another comic who believed in me, this guy, Josh Wolf. And it was just one of those defining moments where I was like, okay, this is like a real career. I'm across the country now, and there's not one particular audience I can say was not for me. Now, granted, you have a heckler, or there was a situation in Baltimore last weekend where a guy was drunk and his phone rang.
Nice.
And I was like, hand it over.
Oh.
And I picked up the phone and I spoke to his wife, and we got it on camera. And I told her
God,
how
that's
rude
great.
her husband was. But all in good fun.
I hope it was his wife.
Well, it was, yes, no, it was. It was definitely his wife. Or I would have went really viral,
Right.
right? Forget
Right.
it. I would have been like the Coldplay concert,
Right.
right?
Imagine.
But it was his wife, and she was a sweetheart and a great sport, and so was he. I think in all the years I've performing, I only had one couple recently walked out.
Ooh.
In Philadelphia. He was a much older guy with a much younger woman, and easily mistook her for
His daughter?
his daughter.
Ooh.
And he couldn't recover from it. And then once he left, I was like, oh, it was past his bedtime, and I made a whole bunch of other jokes.
I mean, if it affected him, means like something was wrong. Because
Yeah,
if it doesn't
right,
affect you,
right.
it's
I mean,
nothing.
you're sitting front row in a comedy show.
Exactly.
Like, don't expect to not be, for me not to talk to you. Or, I really meant it in an innocent way. Like, I was like, oh, that you're not a couple. Like, I said it, I guess, without thinking, and which is what comedy is sometimes.
Yeah.
The best comedy is when you're unfiltered. And he couldn't hack it, but the audience was phenomenal. Everybody else in the audience was so great that it made it work. It made it fun.
I'll be so afraid to sit in the front row. I did it only one time, and actually it was a female comedian. I came with my sister, and I'm like, oh God, they put us in the front row. And the first comment she said, oh, these girls definitely don't have to work. I mean, look at my sister. My sister's a pharmacist. And I'm like, working 24/7. Like, girl,
Right.
you're highly mistaken.
Right.
But
it was a compliment to say you're so beautiful, you don't have to work. Was that the underlying
Kind of,
concept? Maybe.
yeah.
Okay.
But we weren't not offended. I mean, I hate that word. But I was
Yes.
like, girl, I work
Right.
a lot. I work
Right.
hard. I wish I
Right.
don't have to work. But people who aren't sitting in the front row, they're scared as hell. What about from the comedian perspective, right? Because you're on stage, you're in the spotlight. Are you actually like nervous to picking on some people? It just comes naturally to you.
I think if I'm going to talk to somebody in the audience, it happens organically. I don't aim to do it all the time. I think it also depends on the audience. I was in Baltimore at that show, and I realized it was a really rowdy crowd. It was a late night show. People had been drinking, and I said they were a little talkative during my opening act, and I said, you know what? I kind of reel them in. I got to make them part of this experience. So I think I have a really good barometer to know when to talk to people and when to have them just be the audience. And I don't think I'm nervous. I think that's the easiest part for me, like the crowd work, and because I love people. I find everybody interesting. So I think having conversations with people and finding the humor in almost anything is like what I do. So that doesn't make me nervous. There are times, especially in the beginning, where I'd be really nervous to get on stage. Even now, I still sometimes get like a butterfly. And I love that because I'm like, wow, that means I still really care. Like, I'm not immune to how well I want to do. And not even do well for me. I think, and you could attest to this, Viktorija, if you're going to a comedy show, like, you work a lot, right? Like, we all have things going on in our lives. People who are sitting in those seats are trying to escape something. They're trying to have a good time, forget what's going on, and just laugh. So I feel that sense of responsibility. It's like a weight on me. It's like, I want to do my job well for them.
You're absolutely right, because going back to the furniture store.
This is never, this show is never going to, I'm never going to live it down. Thank you, Don't Tell Comedy. I am now known as the furniture store comedian.
Going back to the fancy furniture store, I remember I was like kind of depressed and I was so sad. And I thought, like, what's the thing that will actually, bring me up and just set me in a good mood? And that was the first thing. I want to see a comedy show. And then you don't realize how much impact you have on ordinary people's lives. You think, okay, you may be stressed, it's your, livelihood. But just from my perspective, no, it's almost like a life-changing experience. You go there, you feel so great, you meet people, and the furniture store will stay for the rest of my life with me. That experience, I mean, I can never forget that.
It was a good show.
Yeah. So in a sense, do you think I wanted to ask you about your background, because being comfortable in front of people and also the ability to read the audience, I would say it's either you have to be a witch or you have to be like a psychiatrist. So
I have a degree in counseling.
I thought so, right? I thought there would be something.
I do have a degree in counseling. I was actually a school counselor at one point.
No way.
Can you imagine the advice those kids got? No.
The hot one.
Yeah, I'm a very nurse. I do have that like sixth sense about me. Recently, a woman came to my show and she was really excited to meet me. She ran into me beforehand and asked me if she could take a picture. But I noticed there was something off about her, and she said, "Oh, can I get a picture with you? My husband's coming. Can you wait?" I said, "Relax. I'm not in a rush. The show's not going to start without me. We'll wait for your husband. We'll get a picture." And I said to myself, something has happened to this woman, or she's going through something. Like, I just kind of knew it. And then after my show, she came over to me. We took another picture, and she said, "I'm going to message you on social media. I had a great time. I'm going to message you." And about 3 days later, I got a message from her, and she said, 13 years ago, my son passed away.
Oh.
And I have not allowed myself the ability to enjoy life out of guilt. And it's been a real strain on my marriage and my husband. And I found your comedy online, and I worked through with my therapist coming to a live show, and it was one of our first nights out. First of all, I'm like sobbing, right? And I just it's really important to get those stories, and not that all of them have to be tragic. People have said to me, I had the worst day, or my daughter's engagement got broken up with, and I was like, I'm never gonna laugh again. My daughter's heart is broken, and I came to your show and I laughed. Like, it could be simple. It doesn't have to be something so tragic, but I think we do have to find meaning in what we do. And for me, being a counselor and then going full time into comedy, I felt like the majority of my job for so long is like social media. And like Instagram is not as fulfilling as like helping someone. So when you find out you really are in your own way helping people, it's like, okay, I could do this a little longer. I could stay in this game if I'm really doing something that's like helping other people.
Absolutely. Have you ever thought, did it ever cross your mind that what you do might not be important as other jobs?
Yes.
In a sense, right? It's like in the
Absolutely.
fashion world, the entertainment world, you do something which you love, right?
Yeah, people think I'm like, this is so self-centered. This is so like I'm on stage with a mic and it's all about me. And I'm like, no, I swear it's all about the audience. I mean, I do feel fulfilled doing it, and of course, I want to be funny. I want to know that other people think I'm funny. If you told me if somebody said you could have one compliment in your whole life, you're beautiful, you're funny, I'd be like, funny. Like I want to be known. Like, even when I was single and guys would come up to me after a show and they would like try and pick me up, I'd be like, what's your favorite joke? What was your favorite joke that I said? What did you like? I cared more about what
Yeah.
you thought of like my comedy than
Yeah.
like my physical appearance. But a lot of times I need there to be meaning in what I do. And I mean, fashion is so important to like the climate and culture of where we come from, or how we exist, or past times, or how we feel good about ourselves. Like, I feel better in these pajamas, like
Which you look fabulous.
and I just did a video because I went through my closet soon after I saw you.
Yeah.
I think the weekend I got back from seeing you in that fancy Beverly Hills store, and I probably put 6 bags of six big garbage bags full of clothes, and said, I'm not wearing the ripped sweatpants anymore. I'm not just hanging around I'm gonna wear the silk pajamas to bed, and I'm gonna get every day is a special occasion. Doesn't mean I have to be decked to the nines, but I want to feel good in my clothes, and fashion is such an important part of feeling good about ourselves.
Not for somebody else, but for you.
For me, listen, I realize this now, married and with my husband for almost 10 years, they don't notice shit. Can I say that? They don't notice anything. He doesn't notice if my manicure matches my toes. He doesn't know if, I could be dressed to the nines and he could be like, you want to stay in tonight? And I'd be like, no.
3 hours
No, I have my
preparation.
hair done and makeup on. Like, but I could have no makeup on, sweatpants, my hair could be dirty. And he's like, let's go out. And I'm like, no, I don't. I want you to showcase me the one day a week I don't look like a complete mess. They don't see what we see. And it also, even if they do, it's not as important. What matters the most is what you see. And for me, it's like, I want to feel good in the clothes that I'm in. I want to feel good with my hair done a certain way. I want to invest in myself that way.
Interesting you say that, because once you start treating yourself that way, your surroundings will change. The attitude of other people towards you will change, because you respecting yourself, you treating yourself that way, right? If you treat yourself, okay, I'm just going to wear sweatpants, that's fine, you're comfortable, but don't expect to get, different treatment from people when you are dressed, because it all comes within.
And listen, even if it's sweatpants, I want them to be nice sweatpants. I want everything I wear to feel nice and look good. It doesn't mean a price tag. I found really quality clothes at a great price point. There are certain things I'm really going to splurge on because if I feel good in them. And to me, that's really important. So I think fashion is so big in making people feel good about themselves.
So how would you spoil yourself, or how do you spoil yourself?
For me, like, my biggest things are like manicure, pedicure, massage, facial, skincare products. I am a skin care junkie. I have every cream ever made to man. I will try any treatment, laser. Like, I I am obsessed with skincare products, getting my hair done. That to me is my real splurge. And then now that I've basically thrown away all of my clothes, I gave them away because they had some really great clothes in there that I did that like, I don't want, do I really want to wear this? Well, I held up every piece of clothing like, am I going to feel good in this? No.
Maybe just emotionally, some clothes just get emotionally old, right?
Yes.
They may be good clothes, but emotionally you're not there
anymore. And they
anymore.
may be emotionally good feeling for somebody else. Somebody else who got those clothes may love the new clothes that they have.
It's just not you anymore.
It's just not me anymore.
So what is Tara's style right now?
That store you found me in, I shopped. She's a Tara too, the designer's Tara Rudan, I believe her name is. I love like the cute crop jackets. I love the big pants, but I've always loved that. I'm not a real dress person. Like even when I got married, I was like, can I get away with wearing a jumpsuit?
So speaking of your wedding, I researched, did you get married in the Bronx Zoo?
I did.
We want to know all the details.
I did get married at the Bronx Zoo.
Did you postpone it like 5 times or something?
I did postpone it 5 times, not because I had second thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
No, just kidding. I postponed it because my original wedding date was June 20, 2020. And New York City was not having a 200-person wedding in any venue in 2020 or 2021. So my initial date was June 20th, 2020. Then I think from there we went to October 16th, 2020. Then we went to June 27th, 2021. Then we went to September 26th, 2021. And none of these dates equated to me feeling comfortable enough to bring everybody I know and love into a room together when we really still weren't completely sure what was going on. And there were too many guidelines. You know, people, had to dance, like marks on the dance floor where they could dance. It just wasn't. So we waited the 2 years and had the party we planned.
2 years, wow. Patience.
Almost 2 years to the day. Yeah, June 25th, we ended up doing it. And it was, so I'm very proud to be from the Bronx. I feel like the Bronx has a real negative stigma to it.
So tell us more. I've never been to Bronx.
Where's your accent?
So I'm originally from Latvia.
Okay.
By my heritage is from Ukraine. My parents are Ukrainian, but they immigrated to Latvia years ago during the Soviet time. So I was born in Latvia.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like a psychopath. Like,
okay. Aren't we all?
Yeah. I'm saying that I speak Russian, but ethnically I'm Ukrainian, but I was born and grew up in Latvia.
I can say Меня зовут Tara.
Wow, very good. Очень хорошо.
See, I don't know what you said, but yeah.
No, you said your name is Tara.
Tara. Yeah.
No, I love that. You have actually a perfect accent.
Thank you. I took it in high school.
Oh, really?
Everybody else got to take Spanish. They put me in Russian.
That's right.
And all I can say is my name is.
You could probably look a little bit like, Eastern European.
Yeah, I could say I get Eastern European. I can get that. I get Persian sometimes. I get asked.
I can see.
Spanish I've gotten. Jewish I've gotten, believe it or not, because of the New York Italian.
Maybe.
Sometimes very similar.
Yeah. So how would you describe Bronx-born American Italian? What does it mean to you? What is it?
It's the reason why I do. I mean, everything. My whole personality was from my upbringing. I was in a very Italian American neighborhood. I think there were Albanian at the time, was also very similar in culture. We lived together, but my whole personality comes from being like this big mouth New York Italian, which is what we are. We're loud, we're passionate, we're funny in our own right.
Espresso.
Yeah, we do. We have all these. I always say I joke with my hands.
Yeah.
But I thought that was gonna like almost pigeonhole me in comedy because I was like, and you don't realize how many New York Italians moved out of New York and live all over the country, and how many people say to me now when they come to see my shows, and I'm like, I can't believe there's this many Italians in North Carolina or wherever I am, Charlotte, and it's how many people go, you remind me of home. And so I think that instead of hindering me, being a New York Italian is probably the reason why I'm gaining success.
I'm a little bit jealous, to be honest with you, because I feel you have that community, right? You have a community who supports you. For me, being like a cosmopolitan, I don't see like if I'm on the show like Latvia, like, yeah, she's from Latvia. It's like sometimes like, damn, like I wish I could have like my community, like my people who would be of the same culture and understand me and cheer me up. So I I mean, I assume that must be a really great feeling to have people who cheer you up because you're coming from the same cultural
You know what?
background.
It is. There is something about it that like people, when people say thank you for representing us,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Us, right? It's already a community.
it's a
yeah.
community, and I
Yeah.
go, wow. It also added to the responsibility I felt
Mm.
to not mess up, and to be really funny. It's like there are people that feel I'm representing them. I never even thought of it that way
Mhm, mhm.
until people started telling me that.
Right. Well, the only Italian comedian I know, and I was a huge fan, is Sebastian Maniscalco. He's like my dream comedy, like stand-up
Yes.
comedy guy. Like he's hilarious, but in a way that he's classy. He's
Yes.
like, I could resonate with him.
Which is what I love about him so
Yeah.
much. I equate his comedy to almost like the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding, because people watched My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and as an Italian, I was like, I totally relate to this.
Mm-hmm,
And so I think he has a relatability factor to
Mhm.
him. And his physicality, the way he moves, is so relatable and funny.
Mm-hmm,
Even if it's like completely over the
Yeah.
top and dramatic, right?
Yeah.
It's not too over the top and dramatic where it's goofy. It's almost like, oh my God, I know exactly what this guy is talking about.
Yes.
And so to me, I think like when people say to me, which I think it's so funny because they only pull from Sebastian, right? That's the only reference we have of, although there's been other Italian comedians,
Yeah.
he's so big now
Mhm.
that it's really just the reference people have. They'll go, "You're the female Sebastian
I
Maniscalco,"
see, I
which is
see.
like the biggest compliment. But at the same time, I'm like, feel bad for him
Yeah.
that's the comparison he gets. No, but it's just we are so different, I guess,
Yeah.
in comedy. But I guess not. I guess people see and hear that
Yeah.
and like, find it,
Yeah. But the attention
to
to
be-
details, like my sock is gonna take this plane into the Pacific.
yes,
It's
he's
hilarious. I'm like, yeah, that's true. It's noticing the little things.
and that's what comedy is, right?
Yeah.
It's
Without
just,
being vulgar, though.
right. And it's
Yeah.
just being observational. I'm not really a big, I don't curse a lot. I
Mhm.
don't, a lot of my comedy, I don't want to say I don't like kind of find the fine line
Mhm.
of where it goes too far.
Mm-hmm.
I make references that are funny about, maybe sex or to a
Mhm.
certain degree, but it's not like I'm not a dirty comic.
It's not gross. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I like that.
So I think, and that's really probably a big key to success in comedy, because a lot of people come to see me now and they buy tickets for their parents or they buy tickets for their
Mhm.
kids, which is like a really good thing. If you're making it a family affair, I
Mhm.
can't make it too awkward for you, right?
Mm,
So it's
yeah.
like, but that's a great observation. And that's what we do, comics, observe
Mhm.
every day.
So that was actually my next question. You absolutely have to be, obsessed with little details. How do you create your jokes? Do you make little notes? Do you pay attention?
I make
Do they come
notes.
to you like impromptu? How do you?
Yeah, like first of all, sometimes I'm like, I have to get better at writing these notes. Like I looked at my notes in my phone and they
Yeah.
were like, I have no idea what I was trying to say here. Like I'll just get like one word and it'd be like
Macaroni.
birds and birds, necrophilia. I'm like, whoa, where was I going? What was the idea here? But so I have to get better at that. But I do think pulling what people say, and I'll tell any new comic who wants to start, is you start with yourself.
Mm.
Because that's the subject you know the best, and you dig really deep into who you are, because that's going to relate on other levels to other people. Like I
Mhm.
wasn't talking about being a New York Italian, and that ended up being, I didn't do that till like 10 years into comedy.
mhm.
Meanwhile, that was the secret sauce the whole time. No pun on sauce, but like that was the key to becoming more popular.
But how vulnerable are you ready to get for your jokes?
So that's funny that you say that, because my dad is an alcoholic,
Mm.
and I made very surface level jokes about it.
Mhm, mhm.
And I never really dug deep. I made it like everything's okay, don't be too uncomfortable, everything's okay, but I would make fun of him, but I would do it in a way that was like safe. And now I'm kind of getting to the point in my career where I'm not playing so safe, and I'm becoming a little more vulnerable about who I am and where I come from, still making fun of it. I don't want anybody to leave a comedy show being sad,
Mhm.
but I'm being a little bit more honest about it. And that, for some people, is really refreshing, because some people go, oh, I had a dad like that,
Mhm.
or I had a, grandma, I had that similar
Mhm, mhm.
experience.
But how much vulnerable are you willing to get for hype? for hype or for likes. Do you believe the comedy shows should be so open and honest and raw just to get
No,
that attention?
I think they
or
should. No, if you better be funny,
Mm.
and the more I think Jerry Seinfeld said something like the more daring or like I forget the exact word he used. The funnier it better be. People are coming to a comedy show. People are coming to, like I said, escape. So if I'm going to talk about something really raw and honest, I'm going to do it in a way that makes you know I am okay and this is funny. I'm not doing a spoken word performance. I'm not doing poetry. I'm not, I'm not doing anything dramatic other than my mannerisms, which may be a little extreme. I do believe comedy should be funny and also not protective of certain things. Like, I think there's a real fine line with cancel culture, which I think there's a real pushback now from it, because we realize we're all there for the same reason, which is to have a good time. And any seasoned comic is going to make fun of somebody in the right way.
There's always going to be somebody who's going to get offended
Then
by
don't
something.
come. Then don't come to a comedy show. Don't
Right?
come.
So is there anything that can offend you personally?
No, I think personally I get offended when people make fun of the Bronx, or I think that Italian Americans are like the one ethnicity that people really don't mind leaning in on and making fun of, and they have us look outlandish and sometimes, uneducated, or they make fun of us like we're these goombas, which some of us are, right? Like,
What is a goombas?
Just like kind of like
Ratchet?
yeah, like just like like a lower class, like they have us curl loud, saying like Sopranos,
Sopranos. So is it the
Yeah.
Bronx Italian mobs?
well, that was Jersey Italian, but very
Jersey.
similar.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
Sopranos was Belleville,
Okay.
but and everybody laughs about it. There was a football player on the Giants who was Italian, and everybody was making fun of him, and and it's okay. But I think today everybody's so hypersensitive and so protective about hurting any other ethnicity's feelings that they would never do it, publicly like that. Whereas Italians, we're still great sports about it, and we still aren't getting offended so easily.
I feel like as humans, we always need to be bitching about something all the time. I used to joke and say, if tomorrow we announce that there will be a war between vegetarians and carnivores, there's going to be a flag, a team.
Yeah,
there's
people
gonna
go
be
hard.
freaking rallies and things
Yes.
like that. So we
Yeah.
have to be aware, things we hear and how it affects us.
Right. And also, like, take a second before you're offended. Like, there's always two sides to a certain scenario.
Ask why actually it offends you,
Absolutely.
right?
Why are you so upset by this? Even somebody got annoyed in the comments when I answered the cell phone. They're like, but if a male comic did that to a woman in the audience, it wouldn't be the same. And I was like, you're complaining about how offended people get, and you're being offended. Like, just
Okay.
it's I answered the guy's phone. He was a great sport. She was a great sport. Why did you have to turn it around and say, but if you were a man and the guy was a woman, that's not what happened. Like, why are you so offended by that? So yeah, people will find a way. I'll leave you with this. Also, I talk really fast. Am I talking really fast?
No,
Okay.
you talk great. I
I
love
talk-
this.
okay.
The speed is perfect.
I did a video. I was on my honeymoon in Sicily, and there was a beautiful golf course in Sciacca, Sicily. And my husband said, why don't you come with me? I want to shoot a few rounds. I said, all right, I'll come. It's my honeymoon, right? I'll do what I'll walk. I'll drive over the cart with you. And it was beautiful. I mean, there was wine, there was pizza on the course. Like, there was things for me to do. But I said, I'm going to take my phone out. I said, and I'm going to video us doing it. And I made simple observations about golf. Are you familiar with golf? Because I wasn't.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
But I would just say things to him like,
Say
why?
old people sport.
Yeah, I was like, I'd be like, why are you hitting so many balls? Or why can't you just hit the ball straight?
That's what she said.
But I would just state these little simple things. This video went so viral. I mean, maybe now across platforms, maybe 20 million views. Like, that's how crazy this video went.
Wow.
And people who loved comedy or loved that I was being like an Italian wife on the golf course were like, this is hilarious. This is so funny. And then PGA Golf Memes reposted it.
Okay.
And the hate I got on this reel where you can clearly see I'm a comedian. Like my husband's hitting the ball in the thing, and I'm like, 2-pointer. That's, like foul ball. Like I'm screaming completely idiotic things.
Yeah.
Other sports references. I'm, complaining. I'm laying out on the field trying to get the sun on the, like I'm just, I'm like, where's the spa? It said golf and spa, and people in the comments were like, I would wrap a 9-iron around her forehead. Her husband should drive the golf cart off a cliff. Like the comments were so vicious. They were so mean. And I was like,
but have you been on the other side? Have you actually ever in your life under fake profile tried to comment something negative?
no.
So I tried under my profile, and I remember I had a bad day. I tried to type in. I'm like, okay, come on, hold on. I erased it. I'm like, this is not what I want to put my energy into, right? And speaking of those haters, they have to question what they're spending their lifetime minutes, precious minutes on.
100%. Like there are times people write like diatribes, and I'm like, you have so much time on your hands. Or I'll respond to people. I'll correct their I mess with people back a little bit. I should also ask myself why I'm getting so offended by somebody else being offended.
It helps the algorithm.
It does. I'm like, all the haters that are commenting, I'm like, you're helping the video go further. Like, I don't know if I'll say that to some people. I'm like, thank you so much for all of these mean words. They've helped the video go further. Like, I don't even know if they're understanding what I'm saying, but I just keep throwing it back. I put hearts in the comments. So that the algorithm thinks I'm saying something nice.
And they will see more of your content.
Yes, and I'm like, yes. I respond to everyone, good, bad, and ugly. And I've really become less offended now. Like when I see the mean comments, it's hard. When you first, you're vulnerable online. People will make fun of the way I look, the way I sound, but nobody's safe from it. People will make fun of you any chance they get. They will find the one thing they think you're insecure about and go for it. It doesn't faze me anymore. If I read too many in a day, I'll go, I don't want this subconsciously in my head. So sometimes I'll steer away from the comments. But for the most part, I go right back.
Do you think by getting negative comments, it means you made it?
I mean,
it's kind of like you made it. If you are doing things that nobody's interested about, nobody's going to comment anything
I'm like,
negative,
if I've created this much passion,
right,
good or bad, it's something's working.
But I can't even imagine being a public person, and we're not robots, right? Like, for example, recent campaign with Sydney Sweeney, right? The American Jeans, and so much like positive comments, negative comments. And then I saw she posted a video crying saying, even though she's a big star, it affects her, right? We're humans. And I think it's important to really spread the message that, okay, you sitting behind a screen, right? Behind the phone, nobody sees you, but your words that you just typed in, and forgot about them might influence and impact somebody to the point that, they may commit suicide, or there were cases.
There has been. Cyberbullying is a huge, so many, and especially young kids have killed themselves through cyberbullying. And just because somebody's at a certain level of success or fame doesn't mean they're immune to that. I think even the actress in White Lotus really came down on SNL because of how they made fun of her teeth and her aesthetic. Meanwhile, she's beautiful, but that didn't stop her from being upset about it. It's like at the end of the day, before you hit those keywords, remember you're speaking to another human being with a heart, with parents, with kids, whatever it may be. And, I think we feel so safe and so like nobody can touch me as I put these things. Some woman came at me really hard telling me that she hopes that I can never have kids, and that if I did, that that she would die. I mean, it was like one of the worst messages I'd ever seen. And I didn't really get upset, but I said there's something really wrong with her. And unfortunately for her, her profile had been made public, and I contacted her employer. I said she works with, in an environment with other people. And I think that somebody who, and I never, like, the Italians never rat anybody out.
I love that.
She was very young, and I said, I don't think you should come down. She's young, and I just think that she should know that anything she puts out there, I used to tell this to my kids, what you put on social media could last with you forever. Be careful with your pictures and your boyfriends that you trust, that you do things with, that are videoing you. Like, what you do can live with you forever. And in 20 years from now, you may want to forget that you did that. And so I think it was just a lesson for her that it's like, you just can't come at people and go about your life posting pictures of you at brunch and, you know, you with all the money you're making when you're speaking to other people the way you're speaking. And her, I don't know how they handled it, but they were like, we are going to speak to her about this because this is not a good look.
There's definitely some mental issues. Have you heard about the case where a young teenage girl was bullied for a few years, and at the end of the day, she found out it was her own mother?
I mean, sick. I mean, people have been catfished by their own cousins. Like,
Wow.
this social media, as great as it is, and it's the source of my income now because I have to have my own audience. It really, there's a fine line there from like really sick and demented people to other people just trying to be creative.
So how do you protect yourself from that?
I mean, for me, I definitely engage more than I should, but I've got myself to a place where I am no longer believing the words that are there, right? I know myself enough, but I'm a 45-year-old woman. 30 years ago, if I was a 15-year-old girl and those comments were I wouldn't have been able to handle it. So I think as parents, people have to be really careful about what they let their children do online. And even adults who can't take it. Social media, with or without it, it's not the end of the world. When I go on vacation now and I unplug, it is the happiest times. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love, you know, what I do, but being unplugged sometimes is like the best thing in the world. When I meet people who tell me they don't have social media, I'm like, you are my idol.
Yes. This is my sister. Yeah, she's in pharmacy. I'm like, you're so lucky, girl. I feel like digital detox, it's like modern luxury, right? You feel so free.
It's an addiction.
Yeah, it
these
is.
Phones.
It is. Especially for us, people who are in the entertainment business, right? This is our livelihood. Like, we communicate with our audience. It's our tool, right?
Yes.
We can't really progress without it. It's not like you remove Instagram and, you know.
You remove Instagram, I'm done.
Yeah.
Right
like you
now.
don't exist, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I'm grateful for it in the same, but I'm careful with it now.
So is there certain restrictions that you have in your family? Like, I don't know, no phones at dinner?
I've been no phones at dinner now.
Oh, okay.
I've been no phones at dinner, no phones while driving, which you think would be commonplace or like common sense, but it's right there in the cup holder, right? I use it for my Waze. I use it for directions. No, I won't pick it up now. And I want to get to the place where after a certain time at night, I don't check it. I haven't gotten to that place because I've been doing some late night posts, but I want to get to a place. I would love ultimately, I just spoke to a girl this week I love engaging with my audience. People love that I respond back to them. Some people go, is this really you responding back? And I'm like, yeah, it's me. I'm responding back. You've said something wonderful, or you've said something touching, and I want to make sure you know I've seen you or I've heard you. But I would love to get to a place where somebody else can run it for me. That's my dream. My dream is to be so successful and do all the furniture store shows that I possibly can.
And you have a clone who's going to respond.
No, but that I have somebody, yes. I wish it could be a clone, but in the meantime, I'd love to hire somebody to handle some of the other logistics of it for me.
Because it could be draining,
It's
right?
draining.
I mean, to have that much communication, you know?
That's why when people come over to me and go, it's so meaningful what you do, I go, oh, okay, thank God. You know, right now I thought I was just a robot.
So what does your husband think about what you do?
He's always been supportive. He had to be. There was no choice. He met me. I was a comedian.
Oh, I see.
So
how did you meet, guys?
I met him old school in a restaurant.
Wow.
Nobody meets that way anymore.
I can't believe that.
I know.
Everybody's so socially awkward right now.
I know. I met old school in a restaurant.
What
I
did he
didn't think
say?
I wasn't. He asked me out, and I was like, no.
Wait, so you were already out?
I was out with a friend.
Yeah.
She wanted to go out. I was not. She pulled me from my house. I had jeans on, sneakers.
Okay.
I was not like, hair up. I was like not. And we just went early to this restaurant at like 5:00. Nobody was in there. And by like 7:00, the restaurant was packed. And he had owned the restaurant at the time. And he had sent over dessert to our table. And I was like, I'm not interested in him. And she's like, why? I go, I'm just not. I'm not interested in him. And on the way out, I thanked him for the dessert. And he said, let me take you out sometime. Why don't you go? Why don't you stay? Have a drink with me? And I was like, He goes, oh, you're a comedian. I'll come to a show and heckle you, which is like the worst line you can say to a comic. And I was like, I hate this guy
It's
already. Like,
please
he
don't.
already thinks he's funny. I'm like, oh, really? Here's my card with no phone number. It only had my email address on it. I was like, never. I'm not giving
Fake
this guy
one.
my number. And like 20 minutes later, I had an email that said I left my sunglasses there, which I had, which he thinks I did on purpose to go back, but I promise you I didn't.
Unconsciously.
And he had like some awkward guy who now I know is his best friend with my sunglasses on at the
Oh
bar,
my
and he
gosh,
sent the
hilarious.
picture, and I said, that's really funny. And I went back to get my glasses, and I said, okay, I'll have one glass of wine with you.
And that's how the love story started.
And that's how it started.
So it's crazy. Do you believe that if you're not looking, you're gonna find something? Because obviously you didn't prep, you didn't like dress, you didn't probably, thought you're gonna meet somebody that
Definitely
night,
did
right?
not. I mean, listen, I met you that way. I've met him that way. From now on, it's makeup. No, I just said I was throwing out all my
Okay,
old
that's
clothes.
it.
I'm going to get them back. Apparently, I'm only going to be
Yeah.
successful in finding things when I have no makeup on and sweatpants.
That's the best because they like you at the worst condition you
100%.
are. So they see the real
I mean,
you.
you met me. It was in this Beverly Hills.
I mean, you look freaking
it was
pretty.
right on Beverly. It was right in Beverly Hills. No makeup. I promise you. Assure you, I was not
You
looking
look
my
really
best.
pretty.
In a fashion store, and you're telling me you have a fashion magazine, and I'm like,
You
what
look-
is she?
you look
Is she? I was like, who is she talking to right now that she wants to?
I recognize you right
That's-
away. And
She
it's
goes,
so
I
fun.
know who you are, and I was like, no, she doesn't.
Yes. And I'm like, the iconic.
And then I was
Just-
almost insulted that she recognized me looking like that, and I was like, and then you said furniture store, and
Yeah, I was like, yep, this is it. It's gonna haunt me forever.
and here we are.
Yeah, but it's interesting because I feel maybe intentionally when we put too much pressure, we force things, we kind of reject and push the things that meant for us in a sense. Or maybe you just were so comfortable and you being yourself, right? Not pretentious. in a
I
way.
think I thought like, it's a weekday at 5:00. Nobody, like I just thought it was like
Mhm.
not going to be anything. And then I think too, I was so comfortable in who I was and knew exactly what I wanted at that point, which is why I didn't think it was him, that I was like unfazed. I was like, I wasn't, even though I was older and I didn't have kids and all my friends had been married, the girl I was out to dinner with was engaged. It was never a goal for me. And I just figured it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. And when I met him, it was just one of those things where I was like, I had planned to go to a matchmaker 2 months from when I met him. I said, I'm going to give myself the rest of the spring. And then I do kind of want to meet someone. It was the first time I felt like I wanted to meet someone. And 2 months before, I thought I was going to like plan for it and like go see someone and matchmaker and, pictures and fill out a profile. There it was, eating lobster mac and cheese.
Wow. So clearly it wasn't a love at first sight, right? So what was the moment or actions or deeds that he did that you like, you know what? It's like it had a switch in your mind that you actually like this guy.
So the first date, I thought he hated me. And
What?
because he was just like, he was, a good looking bachelor who owned a restaurant. And I was like, he's going to be so full of himself. Right. And I was like, I don't want anything about this. And I was just like, really, I was as raw as you can be, like just myself. Like he would say something I didn't agree with. And I'd be like, no, is this what you say to women because you think it? I was like literally like challenging. I'm like, is this what you say to girls because they think you're a challenge and they want to change you? I don't want to change you. I don't even like you. Like I was just like, this is a first date. Like this conversation
And that's why
too
he
heavy
wanted
for
even
me.
more because he didn't jump on
He
him.
went up, he got
Okay.
up and went to the bathroom. I texted my friends. He hates that he's out with me. Whatever. This guy is probably dropping me off right
Yeah,
after
yeah.
this. And he came over to the table, and I'll never forget. He kissed me on my forehead. He's like, are you having as good a time as I am? And I was like, oh, nobody's ever challenged this guy before. And boy, did he make a mistake because then I've challenged him every day since for 8 years. But it was just one of those things where it was like, he was so on board. He was so receptive to me being who I was. And when I said to him there were things I didn't like about his lifestyle or certain things, I said, I'm never going to change this guy. He's in his 40s. He said, okay, I'll make the changes. Like this is when you want it. Like when people come to me and say, I want to be with this guy or I want to be with this woman, but this is in the way or they're really busy right now or they don't. I'm like, nobody is too busy to pay attention. I literally I'm in LA by myself and there's still attention at home. Like nobody's ever too busy to make you a priority.
When they're really interested
When
in
they're
you.
really into you. And I think my husband had to change things, and I had to change things. And a lot of times, I would go, okay, this isn't a sacrifice. This is a compromise, because in return, I'm getting something. And that was kind of his mindset. So when people go, we can't, the person won't change this or do that, or I'm not saying you have to change your identity, but yeah, it's work and it's compromise. It's the hardest thing I say it's harder than building a comedy career from the ground up. For me, being set in my ways, I was older when I met him. He was older when he met me.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to change and compromise and to share a life with somebody. It's the hardest thing you're ever going to do if you want a healthy, successful relationship. So for me, it's there's no excuse. If you want it and they want it, you make it work.
There's no way you cannot find the way.
There's no way you can't find the common ground. There's no outside factor that should. And listen, people have kids, other people have kids or blended families. You want it to work, you'll find a way to make it work.
Do you believe, how important guys' looks are to you? Do you believe in 6'10", that a 10 girl always should be with the guy who is a 6? And that's, per the research, the happiest relationship.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's like me. I'm a 10 and my husband's a 6. But no. If you ask him, he thinks he's the better looking. No,
You're very beautiful.
Thank you.
You're very beautiful. You're
Coming
petite,
from a beautiful
you're
woman,
gorgeous.
that is very nice to hear. But you can't say that because, right? I mean, to me, it's I think appearance and attraction, to me, is there's so many factors to it. I know aesthetically, having somebody look a certain way. I was never of the mindset, and this isn't to insult any former boyfriend who may see this. I never really went for the best looking guy. You had to have an aura about you. You had to have you had to have I don't know, an energy, a vibe, charisma. There needed to be something about you that made me go, oh my God, this guy has I don't know. I wanted to feel mesmerized almost by somebody. And sometimes the good-looking guys are so into themselves, and I'm boring.
Because they don't have to put any effort to gain girls' attention, right? Usually a 10 and a 10 never happy. You never seen 10 and a 10 happy relationship, right?
I feel there are times when I've met couples that I'm this is odd. But then you speak to them and you get to know somebody, you're oh my God, this person is so attractive to me right now. Whether it be a guy, a man, or a woman, because of the way they carry themselves or the way they dress. I think today, especially with fashion, right? You can make a 6 look like a 10 if they're dressed right, right?
That's right.
There are so many factors.
You're not ugly, you're just poor.
Right. Oh, and here we get canceled. Sydney Sweeney, I'll be crying with you very shortly after this episode airs. I'll be I didn't mean what I said. I don't think petite is pretty. I mean, I think there's I think everybody has something to them, right? And I don't know.
I think energy is so important, even
so
for women, right? Even if you ask the guys, the most thing they would say they're attracted to women. She's nurturing, she's charming, she has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Versus, okay, she's just beautiful doll, right? You need to have a personality and energy to you to be attractive.
There has to be something more to you, because at the end of the day, you have to sit across from somebody and have a conversation. Majority, especially now, and I hate when they portray women as not sexual beings, or that it's always men want sex. That's not the case. But I think there's just so much more to building a life with someone. I saw this video the other day, and I sent it to my friend who's dating a guy. She's not even dating him. I don't know what she's doing with him.
Situationship.
It's a situationship, and it's so not. It serves her not zilch. There's nothing that she gains from this. And she'll say she wants something meaningful, or oh, I want what you have, or I want what this person has. And I saw this video the other day, and it's the person you marry may have to see you through the death of both of your parents, or they may have to be there and speak for you when you're too, upset, or they may have to talk to a doctor for you, or they pick who. Yes, there's one thing about attraction, but to sustain a relationship and grow with somebody, there are so many other factors.
I have goosebumps the way you say it.
It's you have to pick a person who's just on your team at the end of the day. You have to pick somebody who's going to choose you when you're ugly, because that doesn't just mean in ripped sweatpants. When you're having I get really bad PMDD, which is like, PMS on steroids. I could be ugly in a lot of other ways other than appearance, right? It could be you at your worst, you sad, you upset, To me, it's like you have to pick somebody that's still going to say, I want what's best for you. I want what's best for us. I choose you. I choose our marriage. That's not easy to do every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're doing it with somebody because you think they're good looking, that's going to fade so quick. That is going to fade.
It makes you feel bad, at the end of the day, and makes your value for yourself, like your self-worth will be so low that you wouldn't even want to, continue.
Listen, you need attraction. I believe that. If you're attracted to somebody who the world doesn't see, I brought home guys where they've been like, oh, him?
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, isn't he great? And they're like, okay.
But I think confidence is what's more important in guys,
100%.
right? You can have the ugliest guy in the room, but he'll be so confident. You're like, wow, this is
this
it.
guy. Funny, confident, yes. Little swag. Oh, done. I'm yours.
Right.
So to me, it's like, there's just, you have to be attraction. Attraction has to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be attracted to somebody. And that could be a chemical thing. So many other facets go into not just appearance, but like chemically, we are drawn to certain people. I've been in a room with somebody and been like, oh my God, this guy right now is like exuding. And my friend next to me could be like, that guy? And I'm like, it's just a chemical thing. There's, that's why I call it chemistry.
Was there like a scientific research done saying that a woman can pick a guy know if that guy is for her within the first 7 seconds?
The pheromones.
The pheromones, the scent, the body language. That's what saying before you go on the date. Actually, do like a phone call, a FaceTime, and you will know right away.
I think women pick up on those things way more. We're such a sorry, not to say this, but we're such more socially, emotionally intelligent in those areas. I think naturally, by nature, we are.
Yeah.
So I think those are where, I think men first see just the physicality.
And I think sometimes, especially nowadays, I feel personally that women don't trust their instinct. We get so distracted that when we have that ick, that feeling like, it's going to be fine, which I think we should listen to it more. If you feel something is wrong, then probably something is wrong.
Trust your gut. Every single time I met a person that I didn't like immediately and then gave them a second chance, I almost always regretted it. I was always like, this person showed me who they were, or I got that feeling. Like there would be times where somebody would be really nice to me and I'd be like, I don't like this person. In my gut, I knew it. And then eventually I'd be like, this is why I don't like this person. And I think now as I get older, because I'm wiser and I'm so protective of like the energy around me, I've limited access. Some people don't have that. I don't care how close I was once with them, even if it's family. I limit my access to people. I limit their access to me, I should say, because I don't want to be around toxicity. I don't want to be around negative energy. I work so much that now when I do have the time to be around people, I want it to be really quality time and quality people. And if you, of all people, are investing in your partner who's not a quality person, the rest of your life is miserable. There's no happiness because you're attracted to someone. I'm like, grow up. You're attracted to him. He doesn't take you. You haven't gone out to dinner. What are you attracted to? Guy hasn't come to your house. You haven't been outside with him. Like, find what's important to you. That's the biggest thing. Write down what the most important things are to you. And then if you find somebody that can't share the core values that you have, move on. Unless you can use somebody, if you can just, how do they say?
I think there's a word for it. It's called pro-manning. We were just talking about it earlier.
What's it called?
Pro-manning, it's like you kind of probing if you have the same values long-term to be in a relationship with that person. So you put attraction second, but you see if your values align, if your goals align.
That should be the biggest thing. Yeah, trust your gut, have a feeling and attraction, absolutely. But like, not if you want a long relationship. Not even marriage. Even if you just want like a healthy relationship, it should not be there should be important, like, key factors that make you go, okay, I can
Mhm.
move forward with this person. Listen, if you just want, like a lot of people say, oh, my 20s were for this. My early 30s, I was like, I don't want a relationship.
Mhm.
If I'm attracted to somebody, I'm going to go off that feeling. But that's why I froze my eggs at 34, because I was like, I can't have this idiot knock me up, right? Like, I'm not with him for his genes. So it's
Smart
like,
choice, yes.
so I'm like, I don't think this is going to happen for me in my 30s. I want a comedy career. But yeah, no, I don't. There's no dating foolishly after a certain point.
So I want to test your gut.
Okay.
And I want to play a little game since we spoke about the gut. And I want to test your instincts.
Okay,
And
here
we're
we
gonna
go.
play a little game. What we're going to do, for those who cannot see us, we have a blindfold that we're going to use and showcase you exotic objects. And you have to guess what those exotic objects
Exotic
objects,
Okay.
because the theme is the secret garden.
The secret garden.
And speaking of femininity and the instinct and your gut, we want to see how well your gut works for you.
All right, the secret garden.
All right, let's see. We
Going
have
back to the Adam and Eve days
we
here,
have-
guys.
no. This is the show time. All right, we have
All right.
beautiful.
Oh, I
Marie.
mean, you have this girl coming in. I am a family comic. I don't know what you have me doing here.
we're
all right.
testing your basic instincts on the basic
The
show.
basic show.
All right, let's see.
Let's see. I'm ready.
It's good we're doing it at the end of the show, so not to mess up your beautiful makeup.
Okay. Luckily, this is my last podcast of the day, so my mascara can run. All right.
So you can go crazy.
Let's
All right,
go.
so we have
Here we go,
Amin.
guys.
He's gonna come closer to you, and he has a few interesting objects.
Okay.
And just relax, dive into your instinct, your
All right,
feminine
following
instinct,
my gut here.
following your gut. So we're gonna show you object number 1. What do you
What,
think
show
that
me,
is?
or-
I'm not sure. We're gonna give it to you. Okay,
Okay.
so what is it?
Well, my good girl instinct is gonna say it's a banana.
Wow, 10 out of 10. Look at you, and it's matching your pajamas, by the way.
Okay. What's
Object-
your name?
Amin.
Amin. I was gonna say it was your finger, but
My finger's not that
your
big.
third leg. Okay. This is a leaf, a flower.
Yes, it's a beautiful flower,
It's
like
a
yourself.
flower. Okay.
Good.
Look at me.
Wow. So far, your
So far.
instinct did not betray you.
Let's see.
All right, let's get to a little bit more complicated one. What do you think that is?
I think this is. See, I'm observational, right?
Mm,
As a comedian, I'm always seeing things.
yeah.
So this to me is the sugar cookie. That I saw in the plate.
Ooh, Wow.
Was it shaped as a heel?
Close. It's
Okay.
related to fashion.
Okay. I know that it was definitely something as a sugar cookie. The shape,
Very close. Definitely fashion related.
I don't.
Look at you paying attention. You could be a spy.
I literally
Scan the room.
I literally thought it was. It's a blow dryer.
Actually, it could be if we didn't know what that is. Actually, you
Okay.
close. So it's a dress.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a dress.
I
but
wouldn't have
you
thought
were,
dress
You were
'cause
pretty
of
close.
this,
I'm
yeah.
surprised to guess it's a cookie.
Okay. Well, I saw them.
Yeah. Wow. Look at the observation.
Okay.
That's the skill of the true comedian, right? To pay
Okay.
attention to details.
Actually, you just like pet it.
Oh,
pet
okay.
it?
Well.
Okay.
Labubu. Okay. No. Okay.
Right in front of you. Just put your hand down and pet it. Yeah.
Is this you? Is
Yeah.
this a shoe?
It is a shoe.
Am I squeezing?
Squeeze my butt.
Okay.
Wow. Bravo. Wow. 10 out of 10. So you can take off your blindfold now, Tara. You did amazing with our very extremely exotic object.
The cookie is the thing I'm the most proud of. It's only
That'd
because
be
I
fun.
haven't had lunch. They don't feed me here at Basic Magazine. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, we have some desserts.
I'm
for
gonna
you
have a cookie
after.
now. I'm gonna have a dress cookie.
And you deserved it so well.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much of being on the basic show.
Thank you.
It turned out way better than I anticipated. I didn't even ask even one question.
Oh,
on the plan,
no.
but I feel I feel like
We thought you were going to be a drag, so I wrote all these questions down because we're like, this girl looked unhoused in Beverly Hills.
You know what?
When I saw her in a fashion store. Poor girl's doing comedy shows in furniture stores. Let's just get her in here. I feel bad for her.
You know what? The questions I had were about like dating related, but I feel we went so much deeper
Yeah.
on a different level that many women, many people would relate to and go back into their own experience and ask the right questions. I feel it's important to know which question to ask.
Yeah. Well, it was great. It was honestly, I felt like the conversation flowed. I'm like, did she look down at her paper or are we just talking?
No, I mean, it's all here. I
Yeah,
mean, I couldn't even come up with a better
I'm
question.
a fast talker too, so if anybody has any questions, we're gonna put subtitles in what I've said.
Subtitles.
New York Italian. We're just gonna put words
Italian
here.
subtitles.
Yeah.
Well, you did absolutely
Thank you,
great. It was
guys.
such a pleasure. Thank you for
Thank
being
you
on
for
the
having
Basic
me. You
Show,
look
Tara.
beautiful.
Thank you. You too.
I'm gonna keep
Gorgeous.
the pajamas you gave me now.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, sure, you can. It's actually a really beautiful brand from Moldova. So
Oh,
all the way
fancy.
shipped
Yes.
express for this show specifically.
Thank you.
Well, bye.
Bye.